Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers far and wide. Happy Monday and welcome in to episode number 53 of the Talking the Line podcast. Hey, thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to come and kick it with the crew on this beautiful Monday of bets. Now, before we talk some lines for you today and dive deep into the limited slate of action, please take a few moments, if you could be so kind, and smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the Talking the Line podcast on, whether you are watching on YouTube or listening to the audio recorded version on your favorite podcast directory. If you could also be so kind, take a few extra seconds and hit that like button, leave us a comment, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it when you do, and it only allows us to make TTL Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you. Last but not least, head on over to this episode's description where you will locate the Talking the Line link tree. First link you're going to see there. Within that link tree, you will locate all of the TTL Crew's content so you can consume it however and whenever you please. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on today's episode number 53, I am your humble host, Colton, Colt45 Soroka, and I can't thank you enough for getting your week started with the TTL crew. As always, it's about time to bring in the co-host of the Talking the Line podcast, a young man who's got a little bit of sun in the face, got a little bit of that nice weather sitting out there in the ballparks, and we'll definitely be asking him about that come later on in the podcast. But without further ado, the Sox fan himself, coming off of his first visit to Guaranteed Rate Field, the man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I'm doing quite all right. We've, like you said, I've got some sun in me. I was at the ballpark yesterday, first time for the season. Got a White Sox win in me, and the vibes are good. The vibes are fresh. The vibes are, a little sun, but not sunburn. I'm fine. I'm all good.
That's all right. Got to get the first little bacon of the year, right? Get you a little extra vitamin D in the system.
Yeah, all weekend. Saturday, same action. Not the ballpark, but sitting outside with some burgers and brats. Can't complain.
Well, I definitely want to hear about it, and I bet our fans want to hear about it too. So we'll be sure to ask you about your ballpark experience there here in today's Rants and Reactions. Right. Speaking of, we do have a loaded second half of the pod here with the Rants and Reactions. This past weekend of sports was legend. Wait for it. Dairy. It was incredible. I mean, from the NBA slates to the MLB slates, the Stanley Cup matchups, golf, racing, Formula One, everything you wanted it, you name it, you got it this past weekend.
Yeah, no question. And you mentioned limited slate today earlier. The news and happenings that we get to talk about more than make up for it. But
150%.
Limited slate doesn't mean we don't have the action.
Limited slate doesn't mean the TTL crew still doesn't have your back. So coming up on today's episode, obviously, we'll always have our best bets of the day. So we got RMags best bets. He's got 2 coming at you, and I got 3 coming at you for my best bets of the day. Another Monday, as you know, brings along the Monday Madness Parlay for the special play of the day. We got a 3-legger coming at you, paying out at 637 odds on the dot right now. So real juicy parlay to get this week started. Moneyline Dice, crowd favorite, always present on the TTL show. They had a bit of a rough week last week.
They ended positive.
They ended positive. Yes, they did, actually. I forgot they won on Friday, so they had a 3-2 week. Dice coming off a positive week. Don't let me put those negative vibes on you, my friends.
Had some plus money winners,
Have some damn respect on those Dice's name. So they will be obviously making their usual episodic appearance, if you will. Appearance later on in the show, wrapping up the betting portion of today's episode. And then, like I said, second half of the show, got some great rants and reactions to get into for you guys. And then I got a rockin' message for you guys in today's Motivation Minutes. So make sure you stick around for the end of the show for a little extra inspiration to get you going for this beautiful Monday. Outside of that, partner, before we get things going, I'd like to mention might be bringing back Colt's Daily Draw.
Okay.
There are three real nice pitching matchups. Who knows? Maybe. We'll see. Might stay away. Save it for the 15-game slate tomorrow.
There you go.
Second item on the docket, please follow us on the Action app so you can get all of our best bets of the day outside of the pod. I am at cash_with_Colt. Riley at RMags, all caps, and then you can follow the Talking the Line page, obviously, at Talking the Line. Nice and easy for you, but you are able to get all of our best bets of the day, so make sure you follow us there. We always lock them in up to the second, and you get them the instant we do. So make sure you follow us there. Outside of that, I got nothing else major to drop down before we get things going here, pal. You got anything to say?
Oh, no, I'm all ready to dive in.
All right. Without further ado, cut all the banter, cut all the nonsense, cut all the gossip that you could go to every other media outlet and get. You come here to run tickets to the window all night long with the TTL crew, and that's what we're here to bring you today. Nothing but stone cold locks. So without further ado, it's time to get things started today, as always, with the best bets of the day. I like to concede the microphone for a little while, getting things started on every podcast episode, and let my partner get us started. So without further ado, once again, here we go. It's time for RMags best bets of the day. And as per usual, partner, you have the floor.
I appreciate it, my man. Today I've got two picks, as my partner mentioned. First one's coming out of the NBA slate. Second one will be out of the MLB. First one, I know my partner's a little on the fence on this one, but I am loving the Nets -1.5 tonight. Despite losing James Harden, I still believe this Nets is the better team, even with that guy out. The two teams here rank similarly in many offensive and defensive categories, but Brooklyn, second in NBA in three-point percentage, while Milwaukee is 29th in three-point percentage allowed on defense. Comparatively, you've got the Bucks ranking 5th for 3 percentage on offense, while Brooklyn is middle of the pack, 14th allowed. So not a weakness for Brooklyn, while it is for the Bucks defense. With all that being said, that means Joe Harris is my X factor for this entire series and probably throughout the playoffs as long as Brooklyn is alive here. The guy has been big all playoffs long. He shot 5 for 9 from 3 in game 1. And as I mentioned, he's been playing pretty well all damn postseason, in that Boston series in the first round. If he could put up a similar production, I think this is going to be the Nets again all night tonight, and any game that he can put up numbers like that. Now, I'm not counting on Blake Griffin tonight, partner, but if that guy can play anywhere near how he played in game 1, and even that couple games there in that first series, it's a wrap. That guy is even more of an X factor if he can. It's not necessary for him to do that, as I mentioned, because I think Joe Harris, along with obviously the star power of Kyrie and Kevin Durant. But with all that being said, if Blake Griffin can be a factor, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, and that's our winning the entire damn thing. Moving on to Milwaukee now, Bryn Forbes has to be the X factor for Milwaukee. I mentioned it last series against the Heat. He had a great series, at least 2 or 3 games there, but he's just not consistent enough. And this Nets team has got the defensive recipe to slow him down. And Middleton, not good at all in game 1. He's got to turn it around in game 2 for the Bucks. I don't think those guys are going to do enough, partner. So I'm taking the Nets -1.5.
Okay. As you started your analysis there, you did say that I'm a little bit opposing to you. little bit of a question mark in my head. The Bucks did out-rebound the Nets 58-47, I do believe. Yeah, 58-47 it was in the last matchup. So little bit of concerning issue there. The Bucks are monsters on the offensive glass, and they shot pretty poorly from behind the arc in Game 1. I think that's something they're really going to look to improve upon here. And as we've seen all year, Brooklyn's defense has been a little shaky. I don't like it enough to show you down on it here today. I might take it on a little side action at a half unit, just on a fade in you play. But if you do like my partner's analysis, enough gabbing from me, and you like what he's saying, partner, there you have it. Lock it in. First play of the day, Brooklyn Nets -1.5.
Yes, sir. All right. Now I mentioned I got another play coming out of the MLB. May or may not have a little action out of this game for the Monday Madness Parlay, but out of the Royals versus Angels matchup, I am going to be taking the Royals first 5 plus a half. You've got Jackson Kowar, righty on the mound for the Royals versus Dylan Bundy, righty for the Angels. Kowar will be making his MLB debut and is currently rated in MLB's top 100 prospects list. Over 6 starts in the minor leagues this season, he holds a .85 ERA, allowing only 3 earned runs in over 30 innings of action, and he can bring his fastball up in the high 80s. Dylan Bundy, now on the opposite side, is having a rough time in 2021. He holds a 6.49 ERA, including a 9.7 ERA in May. This will be his first start here in June, I believe. He has allowed at least 4 earned runs in each of his last 4 starts and has not kept any team under 2 earned run all season long. I mentioned he had a rough ERA in May. It was a lot better in April, but it still wasn't good. It was well over 4, so hasn't been able to keep any team under 2 earned runs. He's given up at least 2 home runs in his last 3 starts, partner. The ball is jumping off of these bats against this guy, and the Angels are 0-5 in their last 5 starts as a favorite when Bundy is on the mound. These offenses, on the other hand, here have pretty similar ranks against righty pitching on the season. However, the last 10 here, Royals 292 batting average, 344 OBP, and 7.344 runs per 9, while the Angels' last 10 versus righties, 210 batting average, 275 OBP, and 352 runs per 9. Without Mike Trout, when you take him out of the equation, this Royals team is just the better team. And even at home, things have not been going super well here for the Angels. Not terrible, but as far as home records go, it's nothing to show for. 15-16, so not a huge home field advantage over there for them this year. And these Royals, man, these Royals are sneaky, and just when you expect them to kind of be ho-hum cruising, they'll bite you in the ass. So I like this Royals team plus a half here in the first 5, partner.
I would agree with you. We just might have a little more action coming out of this game as well on the Monday Madness Parlay. So I am all over the Royals first 5 plus a half. I could not say any more about Jackson Kowar. He has been extremely dominant, actually been up and down the farm system, AAA, AA minors, all over the place, and has been pitching really, really well. So I think he comes out, has a great debut, as a lot of first-time pitchers in the MLB have this year. I like that trend to continue, and I'm rocking and rolling right there with your partner. Royals first 5 plus a half. We'll be sure to recap it for you soon. Before we move along into my best bets of the day, not sure if it's a YouTube problem or if it's an us problem. I don't believe it's an us problem because typically everything's fine and this only happens every once in a while, but we might experience a little bit of buffering and streaming issues. Just got an alert. Don't know if that'll happen. Do apologize if it does. We always love to have a clean, smooth show, but just so you are aware, apologies first and foremost. But moving right along into my best bets of the day. Here we go. I told you that I had 3 of them coming at you, and it's time to get into them right now. So for my 3 picks today, I have two games that I'm taking these picks out of. All of them are MLB picks. So for the first set of picks, my first 2 picks, I am going to the matchup between the Miami Marlins and the Boston Red Sox. Now, the Marlins are coming off a 3-1 victory over the Pirates yesterday. Didn't have to exhaust themselves all too much. It was a little bit of a rough series for them, but they did bounce back yesterday and look pretty good in doing so. On the opposite side of the ball, the Red Sox, coming off of a wild 10-round prize fight with the New York Yankees last night, where they edged out the victory 6-5 on some real clutch small ball hitting in the late innings. I don't think that they're going to have what it takes to come right into this game and be ready to rock and roll. I think they're going to be pretty tired and down. Now, as far as the pitching matchup goes, you got Pablo Lopez on the mound for the Miami Marlins and Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Red Sox. Now, Lopez has been a dog for the Marlins all year. In 9 starts, he's gone 62 and a third innings. He's got 1-3 record, 2.82 ERA, 68 strikeouts with only 19 walks, and a 234 batting average with only a 290 OBP. He's also only allowing a 1.15 whip, so a little bit higher than you would like to see, but it's on the lower end of the above 1 category, so you always like to see that as well. However, even though he's had a little bit of rocky starts here and there throughout the season, these last 2 starts, he's really started to find himself again against really star-studded offenses in Philadelphia and in Toronto. Pitched 11 innings in those games, only allowed 9 hits with 16 strikeouts and only 2 walks, 4 earned runs, and 3 home runs. Now, why do I mention the home runs? Because home runs have not been a problem for Pablo Lopez all season long. Matter of fact, he hasn't given up more than 1 home run in another game, and I believe it's only been 3 other games outside of these. So he has pitched extremely well, and those teams that he faced, obviously being in Philly and in Toronto, are teams that really can put the ball deep over the wall anytime they want, anytime they get in the batter's box. On the opposite side, the opposing bump, if you will, Nick Pivetta. He has been a stud for the Boston Red Sox this season so far. However, that doesn't scare me off too much, as he's had his bumpy starts here and there as well. Surface numbers, he's really, really good. 10 starts this year, 59 2/3 innings pitched, 6-1 record, but a little bit higher than you'd like to see. 3.77 ERA, 68 Ks with only 28 walks, but a 304 OBP. So he does have a problem with command from time to time and getting himself into some of those really less than likable situations with multiple runners on the base path where he really has to pitch himself out of some hot situations. In these pitchers' last 5 starts for the Marlins, Pablo Lopez's last 5 starts, they are 2-2-1 straight up in the first 5 innings. And in Pivetta's last 5 starts, the Red Sox are 1-3-1 straight up in the first 5 innings. So at the very least, for my first pick of the day, I like the Marlins first 5 plus a half in the first 5 innings. I like that run line there. I think you're getting some good value. At the very least, this game will be tied at the end of 5 innings with the dominance of Pablo Lopez and Nick Pivetta. For my second pick coming out of this game, I am taking the Marlins full game money line. I like for them to get this victory in the late innings. Now, why do I say that? Because of a few key things. This morning, I looked at the bet percent and money percent split, and Miami, right before we jumped on live here, 34% of the bets they are only getting, but they are getting 54% of the money. So sharp action hitting them early this morning, and you're getting the price that you're seeing on Boston right now just because of the name of the Red Sox and the surface level numbers of Pivetta. I'm not buying it here today. I think the Marlins squeak away with this victory. You know me, I'm a day of the week guy. Miami, 7-3 straight up in their last 10 Monday games. Boston, 2-9 straight up in their last 11 Monday games. And Boston, 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games at home following a road trip of 7 games or more. Give me the Miami Marlins money line on the full game, and also give me the Miami Marlins first 5 run line plus a half. Thoughts, partner?
Interesting. I'm definitely not disagreeing with you. I like your analysis. I'm not as high on them as you are. I think I might still ride it with you. But I do like the Red Sox coming off of not just yesterday, but a whole weekend of versus their
just
toughest rivalry. Yeah, some big battles. And the last couple of things you mentioned there, I do like those day trends, not quite as much as you do. But the one about what was that last one about the off of the big road trip?
So Red Sox are 2-5 straight up in the last 7 home games after a road trip of 7 games or more.
No, that's not nothing. That ain't nothing.
Nothing at all.
Sure.
I mean, it's a big stat. And, honestly, this is a value play for me. This is you're getting the Miami Marlins in a dog spot, in a very reasonably priced dog spot,
right,
albeit. And I think that they should be a much longer dog and that the Red Sox should be a much higher favorite. But I think the books have this price just right. And I think that the Marlins are going to come out on top with a victory, and we're going to have a tie ball game if the Marlins aren't up in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, I think my biggest hesitation is that I've tried to trust the Marlins a handful too many times because I like a lot of their pitchers in some first 5 spots. So I think that's just a personal vendetta that I've got there.
I got burned a couple times this weekend, but I'm very confident in him with the Red Sox, especially the Red Sox. Yeah. I mean, you alluded to it, coming off those battles with the Yankees, man. Give me all of the Marlins with a tired Boston Red Sox team here today. So one more time, first 2 picks. Actually, I'm not going to tell you. You got to stick around for the best bets of the day. Here we go. Third pick of the day. I am not a homer. My boys are hot. Third pick, Chicago Cubs money line. Now, even after we dropped 3 out of 4 to the Giants over the weekend, everybody calm down. Let me tell you, the Cubbies are still hot. They're still cooking. They are 14-6 straight up over their last 20 games still. They're doing real well. Now, you might tell me, Colt, I'm looking at the Padres. They're 12-8 straight up over their last 20 games. What the hell are you talking about? Well, they're 4-6 straight up in their last 10 games overall. Been really battling injuries up and down their lineup like crazy, and they really haven't had the offensive production that they've had to start the season. Now they've kind of started to drop off and kind of regress to the mean a little bit here as far as the MLB top line stats go. However, it also has been the same for the Cubs. They've been battling the hell out of injuries, if you know that. But somehow they found a way to continue to get it done without some of their key players, and they have found these square pegs for these square holes. I don't know why it's working. If you've been seeing it, Patrick Wisdom making a huge name for himself after being a journeyman in the MLB for almost the last decade. It is so impressive. I absolutely love this lineup. But as for some cold, hard facts to get me out of sounding like a homer, we have Adbert Alzolay on the mound for the Cubbies, and you got the young man, Ryan Weathers, taking the mound. The lefty for the Padres once again. It is Alzol Day, ladies and gentlemen, and after a bit of a rough start to the season, my man Adbert has really started to find it. 9 starts so far for him, 54 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 4-4 record with a 3.62 ERA. Inflated numbers, early season struggles. 59 Ks, only 11 walks for my man A, 249 OBP. So he has really started to find himself as well in the last 3 outings. He's pitched 17 2/3 innings in those outings, 13 hits with 19 Ks, only 4 walks, 1 home run, and 3 earned runs. Oh, did I mention one of those outings was against these San Diego Padres, and it actually was his best outing out of those last 3. In that outing, 5 innings pitched, only 3 hits with 7 Ks and a single walk and 1 earned run. He only went those 5 innings. I see him potentially going 6-7 against this team here today. Now, Ryan Weathers on the opposing side, lefties. Cubbies have been really doing work against lefties, but Ryan Weathers has been solid. Top line numbers, 9 starts overall, 39 1/3 innings pitched, 2-2 record, and a pristine 2.06 ERA. Got 29 Ks, only 12 walks, and a 263 OBP. So he has been really solid. However, his last start against the Chicago Cubs, and he got quite roughed up, if I do say so myself. Only 5 innings pitched for Weathers as well. He did face Kyle Hendricks, though. He allowed 7 hits, only had 2 Ks, 1 walk, 4 earned runs, and gave up 2 home runs. So he got really touched up against this Chicago Cubs offense. I believe he is still young in his MLB career. That is still going to be in his head, and that is going to be something that's going to affect him here today on the mound. As far as some key trends I'm looking at, to wrap some final thoughts up on this one, the Cubs are 13-3 straight up in their last 16 Monday games, my friend. They are 21-8 straight up in their last 29 games versus a left-handed starter. For the Padres, they are 2-5 straight up in their last 7 versus a team with a winning record. 0-4 straight up in their last 4 versus the NL Central, and drop the cherry on top. top of the cake, if you will. 1-6 straight up for the Padres in their last 7 games versus a right-handed starter.
Okay.
Give me all of my Cubbies on the money line. Great price right now, right around plus 110. Cubbies money line for my third pick of the day. There you have it. My 3 best bets, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like our stream connection is back online. Excellent connection. You love to see the green dot. It's always preferential. Makes your heart stop pounding a little less faster as a content creator when you see that green dot.
No question.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. RMags best bets, my best bets. You know what time it is now. Time for the special play of the day. Said it at the top of the show, but here we go. It's time to get into it. The Monday Madness Parlay. Let me get a quick sip of water.
Go for it. We've got a nice 3 legs here. I know which one of these legs that my partner would like to.
That's some high quality H2O.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So, said it at the top. 3-leg Monday Madness Parlay. Plus 637 on the odds. Paying out over 6-1. All right. So we got 1 leg from each of the slates today. MLB, NBA, NHL. You alluded to it. There's one I would like to talk about in specific, because I've been talking about him since before the postseason started for this slate. Since before anything happened with these boys, I've been saying go blank go. And let me fill in that blank for you right now. My Habs, baby, the Montreal Canadiens. For the first leg of the Monday Madness Parlay, we are taking the Montreal Canadiens money line, right around minus 150 right now. Couple of key reasons why I like the Canadiens, and my partner is riding right along with me, said he liked them as well. My boys are getting the sweep. They're getting this thing done, and they are going to flip the script on the Jets. The Jets really pissed off Montreal in the first game with that lazy, lackadaisical, nasty hit, and they just have been laying the hammer down ever since. They haven't stopped or even thought about letting the Jets up for a little bit of air at all. They are simply drowning them, and I think they continue to do that, especially on home ice tonight. The Jets are 0-4 in the last 4 meetings between these two teams. They are 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games following a game where their opponent scores 5 goals or more. Exact same opponent. You love to see it. And my Habs, 6-0 straight up in their last 6 overall. They are absolutely killing it. They dominated the Leafs in the second half of the series after going down big, and now they have absolutely dominated the Jets. I believe they get the easy sweep here tonight. You're getting these odds that you're seeing today because a lot of the bookmakers are dying for you to take the Jets. I suggest you do not do it. Side with the Habs. Get the easy win. They're going to get the sweep victory here tonight.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, you mentioned the Leafs. They've dominated the Jets even more than they took care of the Leafs. Those games were pretty tight at the end there, and I know yesterday it was a pretty no sweat action there for the Habs. So all over it with you, my man.
All right, so there's the first leg of the Monday Madness Parlay. Second leg, partner, I'll let you take your pick, and I'll toss my 2 cents in right along with you. Go right ahead.
All righty. Second play coming out of the NBA is going to be the Denver Nuggets plus 4.5 on the road versus the Suns. Denver took 2 of 3 in this matchup in the regular season, with that first game coming as a 3-point loss. I think the series is just going to be this game and the rest of the series. Each game, I think, is going to be within that 5-point swing there either way. And the Nuggets, 7-3 ATS, last 10 in Phoenix. I think they've got the right matchup for this team to at least stay close. I like this. I like the Suns in this series. I like it to go deep, but I think it's going to be very, very tight. Nuggets have enough offensive options to pour it in, and they've got the right formula here to hang with these Suns. And like I said, I think it's going to be close, but
Big
plus
time.
4.5. Give it to me.
Big time. You know I'm a trends guy. You know my guy's a stats guy. So let me give you a couple to you. Phoenix has won 1 game in the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Did you know that 1 win was by 3 points this season, back on January 1, 106-103 in Denver? Denver, obviously, 2-1 in the season series, got 2 OT victories, 120-112 and 130-126 in Phoenix. Do I see something similar? I actually could possibly see them running away with an outright victory here tonight. I feel very similarly to the way I felt about the Hawks yesterday. The money input looks similar, not exactly the same, but it looks similar. I really like that. The Sharps are on the Nuggets, and I do believe that they have a serious potential to get this outright win. However, if they don't, I will gladly take the 2 buckets in a meeting here that the only win by the Suns came by 3 points, and the Nuggets have just absolutely rolled them outside of that. So I will gladly take the extra points here. And last but not least, Denver, 7-3 ATS last 10 in Phoenix, and between these two teams, 14-6 in the last 20 overall. So give me all of the Nuggets here, plus 4.5 on the spread.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. Second leg of the day. That last stat, by the way, 14-6 ATS, last 20 overall between these two teams. Guess I didn't say ATS. But moving right along for the third and final leg of the Monday Madness Parlay, the MLB leg. And I told you we had some more action from a matchup that my partner already took a little bit earlier on in the show. So if you stuck around, here it comes. We are taking the Kansas City Royals money line here tonight. This, once again, is a sharp play. All I can say is this Jackson Kowar really impresses me. I think he might even go 6-7 innings here. Mm-hmm. I think he has some real potential. He's got a sub-1 ERA,
yeah,
I do believe.
I mentioned it earlier.
0.85 it was.
Yep.
So, I mean, he is incredible. I think he goes deep. I am not super confident. Who is on the mound?
Dylan Bundy for the Angels.
Yes,
yeah.
that's exactly right. Bundy has been getting shelled all season long. 0-6 record overall. I know you mentioned that. 6.49 top line ERA and a 1.32 whip. I mean, just letting boys hit him all over the ballpark and around the bases.
Yeah, the one I mentioned it earlier. 2 home runs his last 3, at least 2 home runs his last 3 starts. But the cherry on top for me is the difference in the bullpens here. Last 10 for the Royals, 2.63 ERA. So they've been, I mean, they have the better bullpen numbers on the entire season, but that bullpen specifically the last couple of weeks has been taking care of business, while the Angels are still well over 4 on the season and over those last 10 games. So love this Royals money line. That's some nice plus money, my man.
Absolutely, me too. It was one of the first plays that jumped off the board to me today. Honestly, all of the underdogs jumped off the board to me today. I just thought you were getting some great value. So if you don't want to do anything else outside, take all the underdogs in the MLB today.
Yeah.
I'm feeling an underdog Monday. I don't know, maybe a little 3-leg parlay, maybe a little $5 on it. I bet you get some real nice odds on that.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Definitely.
But it's not in today's best bets of the day for the TTL pod. So we'll leave it to the side. But without further ado, it's time to recap those said best bets of the day. So partner, if you could be so kind, let's get on into it. Here we go. Recapping today's best bets of the day. For my partner, Riley RMags Magnuson's picks, he is taking 2 today. He has got the NBA play taking the Brooklyn Nets on the spread minus 1.5, and he is taking an MLB play, the Kansas City Royals first 5 run line plus a half. For myself, I got 3 MLB plays coming at you. My Cubbies on the money line, the Miami Marlins first 5 run line plus a half, and then the Miami Marlins full game money line. Those are our 5 best bets of the day. Now for the special play of the day, the Monday Madness Parlay, we have the Kansas City Royals money line, the Montreal Canadiens money line, and the Denver Nuggets plus 4.5. As I already told you, parlay those 3 bad boys up. You're going to get plus 637 odds or somewhere right around there. And it is going to be a beautiful addition to your Monday bet slip. So make sure you lock that bad boy in as fast as you can. So there you have it. All of our 6 best bets of the day, including the special play. You know what to do. Hammer them in, lock them home, sprinkle a little bit of dough down. Whatever you like to say, just make sure you get them in it, whatever the current best line is at on your favorite sportsbook. So, you might have noticed a little section on there we haven't talked about yet, but we talked about at the top of the show. The Moneyline Dice. You know how hyped I get about these things, so let's not even hesitate, debate, conversate, or wait. It's time to get in to today's Moneyline Dice roll of the day.
Let's bring them out.
They have officially made it back to the TTL production studios, if I do say so myself. Just absolutely looking gorgeous on
got
this
a nice
Monday,
desk
June
behind
7th.
us. Oh, yeah, man.
I know,
we're
absolutely.
Rocking. We're rocking and rolling.
We're on the front of the set. Everything's up there, you know? Yep. So moving right along here, before we get into today's Moneyline Dice roll, I'm going to get all these bad boys out here today because I got a little something I'm going to drop on you, partner.
Okay.
But before I get into that, quick little reminder, here are said Moneyline Dice. You probably won't be able to see them too well, but there you go. You'll obviously see them when I bring them up there as well. And then you got your handy carrying case. Now, this is obviously the main product of Moneyline Dice. If you want to get your own, hell of a product. When your brain's spinning, you've been looking at all the trends, you've been looking at all the lines, you've been trying to figure out what side to take, and you just cannot simply make a decision. Turn to the Moneyline Dice. How do you get Moneyline Dice, you might ask? Well, I am here to tell you, and I got an offer code for you to save you a little bit of dough in the process. There's a link in this description. Second one, down at the bottom, Moneyline Dice website. We actually put the offer code in there for you as well, but just so you doubly know, head on over there. Check out all their cool merchandise. They got more than just the Moneyline Dice. They got a tracking book, MMA scorecard, wearable merchandise. They got all types of good stuff over there. Pick out what you want. Get it in your cart. Once you get to your checkout, your cart, whatever you like to say, enter code TTL10. At checkout, you're going to get 10% off of your first order on Moneyline Dice, and you're going to be able to roll right alongside the crew and stop racking your brain when you don't know what side to take. You just let the dice decide for you, and you just move right along. A little one of them, how you doing, keep it moving type situations, all right? So there you go. One more time, code TTL10 at checkout. It is in the description. Go get your own Moneyline Dice today. Moving right along, today's Moneyline Dice roll. You know, we have, since we started live on YouTube here, 2 weeks live. Thank you all for joining us, for continue supporting us and helping us just to get bigger and better every single day. Moving on. We have consistently done home and away and just Moneyline or ATS. So I thought, what if we do that?
Okay.
But they also provide a all over the map dice. So a home money line, away money line, same for ATS, and then an over-under all on one dice.
Okay.
Or die, however you like to say it. Then they got the over-under, obviously two, and then you got your units. So I know we like to stay away from the units because, like, I'm not trying to put $100 on a dice roll.
Right.
So maybe we'll put that one in the bag.
Okay. Made me a little nervous when that one came out.
Yeah. Over-under, what the hell? How about we do our usual.
Okay.
We'll do our home away ATS money line, and then we'll do a wild card. We'll do just a shoot from the hip dice. You tell us what the hell what is the best bet out of this matchup. Side, total, everything. We drop it down.
Okay.
So we got two money line dice picks coming at you now.
Okay.
How about that shit?
Okay. What if they oppose?
Well, one of them's got to win. Unless you want to go total.
Just go ahead.
Or if they oppose, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, all right? If they oppose, it's a reroll.
Reroll. Okay.
Suppose it's a reroll.
Full reroll.
Okay?
I like it.
I like that you.
I like that.
I like you brought that. That
It's very
instance up.
possible that
It could
either
be.
a reroll.
Could be.
I mean, if we double down, that's a totally different story. I'm fine with that.
Totally different story. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's Moneyline Dice roll. For today's roll, we are headed to the ice. Stanley Cup matchup, Game 5, if you're a fan of Barstool Sports, live at Borelli's. It is time for the madness to ensue yet once again. I've been absolutely sucked into those things.
This whole series, I've been entirely sucked into. My God.
It has been so electric. This series, those few videos I'll pop in from time to time. I mean, hey, if you guys see this, great stuff. Like, you guys need to hear that. But what you're doing, right. I mean, it's absolutely electric. But moving on into this matchup. The Islanders back on the road in Boston tonight. They are coming in as the puppy.
Got it right here.
Oh, look at you as the plus 160 puppy dog. And the Bruins, obviously home team, coming in as the favorite. A little bit longer of a favorite, minus 190, where they are 3-3 so far in the postseason as a minus 190 or longer favorite.
Okay.
So, with all that being said, let's get it underway today. Here we go. First dice. You know how it goes. Home or away? Will we be siding with the scrappy Islanders from New York? Or will we be siding with the battling Bruins from Boston? My best accents there.
I think your accents need a little
They
bit
need
of
a lot of
touch-up.
work. They need a lot of work.
There.
But here we go. Home away.
Love the spirit of it, though.
3, 2, 1. Home team.
Home team, Boston Bruins.
Home team Boston Bruins. Okay.
I know you got a little bit of a soft spot for those Islanders.
I do.
I
That
saw the
hurts.
hesitation there.
That hurts.
Hey, we might have a reroll on our hands.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's set in stone
Let me
quite
see.
yet.
Here we go. So are we taking the Bruins money line, eating the substantial chalk, or maybe getting a little bit of juice on the puck line? We will find out in 3, in 2, in 1.
Another money line.
Eating the chalk on the money line. Home money line for the dice to start the week. All right, let me set them bad boys right there.
Not locked in yet.
Dice number 3, the wild card. What is it at? What's the best bet? What do you think? Here we go. Dice, give us a good one. 3, 2, 1.
The home money line.
Home money line. Shit you not, kids.
Doubling down.
I will show all 3 of those. The dice literally just looked us right in the face. Said, lock this
Fuck
shit
you,
in.
Bruins money line.
Lock this shit in, dumbasses. Don't talk about it. Be
You
about it.
said soft spot for the Islands. Fuck you, Bruins money line. That's
Yep.
what the dice
Yeah.
said.
Hey, if you could be so kind, I'm meander on over there. Show these kind
Okay.
folks what we got working with today. If you
Okay.
got anything to lay on them,
Sure. Oh,
I'll be all right.
don't blow our
worry.
ears out
I'll
here.
be all right.
Okay. While my partner goes around there, this, as we mentioned, this series has been a wild one, 2-2. I believe the Islanders took a 4-1 victory in Game 4. That was the biggest. It was tight in the third period, though. I think that was a late run as my partner fumbles with these dice, and there they are, maybe a little lower. There you go, right there. That's a beauty.
I'm telling you, these are.
Why don't you show them that third dice that we haven't pulled out yet? Show them show them around it. Yeah.
So we got
Some over/under action. You got home and away ATS, home and away money line. Nice little dice there. Nice little dice.
beautiful set.
I like that. I like this. We can either double down on something. We can throw in a total. We can re-roll if we oppose. I like it. We're gonna have to keep doing that maybe, unless this goes poorly and the dice fail us again. But hey, they had a positive week, 3-2 record. And possibly 3. I can't remember if Friday was plus money, but I know the first 2 were some nice plus money. So we've got this dice. These dice are feeling a little confident, getting that mojo back, if you will, partner.
Mojo back.
Mm-hmm.
You know the deal. The dice have spoken. Double down on the Boston Bruins money line. You got to eat a little bit of chalk tonight. Minus 190. Hate to tell you, but the dice are about it. They said stop talking about it, be about it. You roll with the money line dice. You know the deal. If we say it, it's a winner. So one more time, if you want to guaranteed take a ticket to the window tonight, the money line dice have spoken, and in the dice we trust on the Boston Bruins money line. There you have it. One more time, we'll recap everything for you before we get into the second half of the show. RMags picks of the day, my picks of the day, Monday Madness Parlay. Obviously, super, super excited about that one. I think that is going to get our special play record back on track. Did not hit a 1 last week. We had a 2 to close out the week, had 2 really, really rough beats. So I love this one, especially with the limited slate as well. So, and then one more time. Moneyline Dice, we have now confirmed.
Thank you, Dice. We didn't think the Dice.
Thank you, Dice. Boston Bruins Moneyline. Let me quickly, before we let the kind gamblers that join us on the show go about their day, let me properly do this. Really end.
Don't need to cut any corners here.
No. Let me even make it official. I'll go back. All right? Thank you, Dice.
Thank you, Dice.
Sleep well. We'll see you on tomorrow's pod. There you have it, today's Moneyline Dice roll of the day. Now I will really get into it. All right, here we go. Let me scoop myself in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gamblers joining us today. If you are one of the kind folks that just joins us for our picks of the day or our best bets of the day, the special play, and all of the gambling analysis and trends that we give you, and you're about to head on out of here to get your Monday started, thank you so much for stopping by. We hope you have a spectacular, spectacular Monday, unless you have other plans. But hey, make sure you come on back. Don't stay away for too long, because we got more sports books to bankrupt, and we need your help doing it one play at a time. So we'll see you on tomorrow's pod. But for those of you sticking around for the second half of the show, my personal favorite, I do love stacking dough and cashing tickets all day long, but I also do like talking some shit. So without further ado, it is time for Monday's Rants and Reactions.
It's a good one.
Here they are.
We've got
Thank you,
some things to react upon.
We got a lot of reacting to do, a lot of ranting to put forth, and a lot of hot takes to dish out. But before we do, partner, I've been dying since we started today's episode to know how that first official visit of the 2021 season went to Guaranteed Rate Field for you this weekend, my pal.
It was good, my man. I mean, the sun was out, as you can see. I've got some red on my face if you're looking on YouTube here, but you know, it was definitely toasty. But that couldn't. You know, I don't know what word that couldn't stop the vibe. Yeah, it couldn't take anything away from the vibes. 3-0 victory. It was kind of a ho-hum performance for my Sox. Dylan Cease was fantastic.
Yep.
And 3 runs in the second inning, and that was it. And you know, we got a couple dogs in us. Got a couple 3 or 5 beers in us.
Before you go any further, and if you joined us on Friday's episode, we got into these metrics.
Concession metrics.
Concession metrics. So lay it on us. What'd you get? Just a couple of basic dogs? Did you go all
Polish sausage?
Polish
sausage.
Man after my own heart.
They got some legit Polish sausage out there, man.
Yeah,
and you know,
what'd you get on top? Little onions, little mustard,
onions and mustard. Exactly that. The one I went to. Sometimes I like a little pepper action.
Hungry.
Yeah, so am I. Sometimes I have a little pepper action. They didn't have it at the booth that I was at. It was just onions.
Okay.
But onions and mustard. I'm not typically a huge onions guy, but on that Polish sausage at the park, you can't beat it.
Oh, were they grilled or just raw?
It was grilled.
Oh yeah,
grilled.
baby.
Oh,
yeah, you can't
most definitely grilled.
You can't pass on.
And
those.
then, like I said, a couple 2 or 5 beers, so that was nice. A little Modelo action.
Sure.
Followed it up with some nachos.
Okay,
can't go wrong with that. And you know, like I said, 3-0 win. Ho hum, got out of there with the dub. 3 out of 4 from the Tigers, and we're feeling good. Got to get back to the park.
Okay,
gotta get back to the park.
Love to hear it. Big question of the hour: did you cash any tickets on your Sox while you were present at the field?
I did. I got a little wild with it. I wouldn't advise it as far as betting strategies, but I mean, when you're at the park, you got to have a little
Get wild.
fun. Yeah. I did some same game action, and I hit one of them to get me positive on the day. Some Dylan Cease strikeout action. His over was like 6.5, and I think he ended up. I don't remember what he ended up with, but it was at least 8.
Okay.
I think it was more than that, but anyways, so that one, and then Tim Anderson and Nick Madrigal to have a hit. They put up a hit in the second inning, I think, each of them in the 3-run second. And then I got wild with some couple home run props and same game parlays, but no home runs.
I saw you put one of those on Twitter.
I did. That was the only one. Yeah, and that one I put on Twitter. And Yohan Moncada didn't have a home run. Otherwise, I cashed the other 3 legs. But Adam Engel back in the lineup. I've been desperate for some outfielders. We got Adam Engel back in the lineup.
Saw that.
Might not sound like a big addition, but given our current situation, that dude is a monster with the glove. He had a home run robbery yesterday, if you missed it. It was, not top 10 play quite worthy, but it was up there. And it was good. Good to have him back. Billy Hamilton on the IL, but getting that guy back. Similar, he's better with the glove, not as fast as Billy. Billy's a speed demon, but better with the bat typically. So if we can get him going, that's a big addition.
Sure enough.
But anyways.
Sure enough. Well, hey, it sounds like you had an action-packed weekend, my friend.
I was exhausted.
Yeah, about time to get it reset and get the week vibes flowing here. But talking about exhausted, stayed up a little too late last night. Against my better judgment. Regrettably, I would have to say so. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's the only thing that was on Twitter at that time last night, and everybody was speaking of it. Floyd Mayweather officially fought Logan Paul.
Yeah, and you tweeted it that you were, and for a minute I was as well, but then as we got into the later hours, I think you tweeted something like, I could get used to this whole Sunday night fight card. Did that change your mind, or as time went on, did your mind change on that?
If the main event would have been worth a shit, yeah.
Yeah. I even still, though, I think if you moved it up 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours,
finishing
sure.
at like
Sure.
8-9 as opposed to whatever it was, like 11.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm not objecting to that. But honestly, a Sunday fight card, it
wasn't bad.
I'm not opposed whatsoever. Shit, you could start it at noon for all I give a damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying.
I mean, that's not bad at all.
Right.
I mean, I think potentially some of these promotions even outside of UFC are maybe missing out on a day here.
Maybe at least during non-football. Obviously during non-football.
Maybe we just had the
football season,
maybe we just had the idea,
but
dude. Maybe we start TTLFC, Talking the Line Fighting Club, dog, and we have it on Sundays. You know,
I can take it.
Looking for a sponsor. We got a good idea. Let us know. We'll bring it to market.
Sunday
we just
afternoon.
need your backing.
Sunday matinee.
Sunday matinee of just straight clubbing human beings. No. Human cockfighting on Sunday afternoons. That's what you need in your diet for your television viewing on Sunday afternoons.
But the fight itself,
fucking joke. Yeah, fucking joke, man.
Right.
I mean, Floyd did
aside from the money, like it was
professional bank
obviously
robbery.
Floyd Mayweather didn't lose. If you had judges there, he won the fight.
Mm-hmm.
There was no official decision, so he really didn't gain anything aside from the money, which of course, if he wants the money, he wants the money. But as far as his legacy, not to say that it hurt his legacy necessarily, but it definitely didn't do him any good for his legacy.
No, not necessarily. I mean, he said it at the end of the fight. He legalized bank robbery. He's gotten really good at it. Yeah. And I'm sure both of those gentlemen walked out very, very, very rich out of that ring. I'm sure they didn't walk into the ring for any less than $5 million each.
Probably more
just
than that.
Probably just to walk into the ring.
Because I think Chad Johnson got $1 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and might as well get into the card. The card was actually decent in and of itself. Badu Jack had a great fight against Catalina, I believe it was, or something along those lines. 13-0 fighter who seemed to be really good, and the ref was warning him for holding and a bunch of nonsense. Got into the third or fourth round, and he warned him that he was going to DQ him if he kept holding him.
Oh, really?
So just got into his head, and then Badu Jack, he hit him with body punches, got him down 3 times. Florida boxing rules, 3 knockdowns and the fight's over. So that one was really good. Then the Arias and Hurd, I believe it was, that one was a really good scrap. Went all 10 rounds. That one was a beautiful fight. It started raining in the ring though, and it was just like, what the hell? I mean, these guys were falling. Hurd got a knockdown counted for him because Arias slipped. I mean, it was a madhouse. But then honestly, dude, Chad Ochocinco did not disappoint me at all.
Yeah.
He did not disappoint me at all. Four rounds, he did get caught. If I got caught, if you got caught, if anybody got caught on the button, they're going to go down like that. But his training showed how fast he popped up and got back to it and continued to finish the round.
He's a freaking athlete, man. I mean, he was on Twitter. He was pretty pumped about his performance, I think. Obviously, he got the loss, but I think we're going to be seeing him back in there pretty soon.
Man, I would not doubt it because the way he lives his life, he takes everything to 150%. I mean, I'm that type of person as well. Anything that I do, I take to the max, and I mean, I can see that, and you saw that because some of these guys talk about, I want to be a boxer, I want to do this, and then you saw what happened with Nate Robinson.
Right.
Ochocinco took it extremely, extremely serious. I mean, the guy he fought is no pushover either.
No,
the guy he fought was a previous bare knuckle boxer, which to do that is insanity.
Yeah.
And then he was a 2-division champ in boxing. I don't remember what promotion, but he was a stud and a half. He's been fighting pro. Like he was no slouch. So for Chad to go 4 rounds and hold his own, I mean, I thought he was going to get knocked down in the first, second round. I thought it was going to be early. It was great.
But I mean, that kind of adds to, it's the door has already been opened, but I think, I don't think we are absolutely going to see more of these occasions where random athletes,
I think so too.
Whether it's YouTubers, celebrities who think they have some type of athletic worth are going to strive for that, and they'll probably be given that chance if they can prove that.
I think so.
They,
it's all about the money, man.
Yeah,
it's all about the money.
We keep hating on it, and we keep complaining about it the next day, but we keep coming back and watching.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just stop complaining about it. I mean, it's the market we're in.
It's like you want to see if one of those dudes gets smoked and knocked out, or vice versa. You want to see it.
You want to see it. So we're gonna keep tuning in and keep hearing our rants about it on the prior and after the fight. So we might change our tune after the fight to what we said before the fight, but you'll just have to tune in and listen. Now to some fights that actually matter, because as not to disrespect, with all due respect to those fights last night, none of them mattered at all. They were all exhibition matches. None of them mattered. So to fights that actually matter, the UFC had actually a star-studded card this weekend. My main card parlay lost by one leg, no, it was not by my biggest underdog, by the plus 200. That fight actually got voided. All my Brazilians won besides Sakai that I faded.
Yeah.
And then the one loss was my boy Miguel Baeza, who I thought to myself that Ponzinibbio was much bigger, just bulkier-wise. But Baeza had the length and the reach. If he could get those calf kicks in early and could keep the reach and could put some solid combos together, I thought that he had the shot for the decision. Came out round one, touching Ponzinibbio up, was doing what exactly I just said, ripping the calf kick to the point where Ponzinibbio could barely walk to the stool at the end of the first round. Second round comes out, looks to be a little bit of the same, and then he just gives up on the game plan. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if Ponzinibbio caught him with one shot and he felt the power and he changed everything in his mind. That happens. Second half of second round, Baeza gets his teeth kicked in. Whole third round, he gets his teeth kicked in. I mean, it wasn't even close, and he lost a unanimous decision, or a split decision, I do believe it was. Either way, but man, that was so brutal, because that Baeza was my most confident fight, to tell you the truth, and he was the only one I ended up losing.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I think I might be watching this replay tonight, because I had a busy Saturday night.
Oh, it was fucking so good.
So the only thing the only thing I really saw was the finish for Rosenstruik. But
so good.
Round one, correct?
Round one. Yep. As a lot of these UFC heavyweight fights start now, it's pins and needles. I mean, they're feeling each other out. You don't know which guy is gonna throw the first bomb, if that first bomb is gonna connect, and it's real feel out process with the heavyweights, and then they throw that first one and it is on. And Rosenstruik touched Sakai a few times, got him to feel that power, and then he just had him backing up the whole time, had him against the cage, and then the result is what you saw all over social media. I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah, that dude's got some power, man.
So I think Rosenstruik's back, man.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I'm not sure where he's at in the rankings, but maybe one more and he'll be close to having those title shots back. But,
I would agree.
Yeah, like you said, those heavyweights, when they are all on getting close to that same level now after kind of a little bit of a down period, you might say, for a minute, and now they're all looking, and they all know that everyone has that knockout power in an instant, so it's real touch and go there at the start of those fights.
It don't matter how hard you can throw, everybody falls the same.
Yeah.
And like you said, man, everybody's starting to kind of realize that, and it's real touch and go. My boy Tanner Boser, I was talking so high about him. Ilir Latifi came in and absolutely toasted him up. That was a good fight to watch. Overall, good solid card. Nothing super of note to write home about. Wasn't like any huge big performances of the night. The Baeza Ponzinibbio was the fight of the night, so definitely deserving. And then Rosenstruik got performance of the night as well. And then Tybura, who fought Walt Harris, the Polish guy, coming up, absolutely destroying guys, got the TK over Walt Harris. I mean, I called that. I said, don't put your money on Walt Harris. He's on his way out, like a lot of these guys, and Tybura got the TKO finish in the first round. So it was incredible. So he also got the performance of the night. Outside of that, a lot of decision victories, a lot of just back and forth, a lot of, like I said a few weeks back, if you listen, it's kind of a no-name card. A lot of guys trying to make their footing, get their footing in the rankings, rather. rather. So that's kind of what this card was. But we got a big one coming up here very, very, very soon,
Yeah.
Carter.
They had a little, I was kind of following along on Twitter a little bit, but
Yeah, go ahead.
They had, I
think
my
I know where
partner's
you're going.
alluding to Israel Adesanya versus Martin Vettori, but they had a little mini not press conference, but it was like a Zoom chat.
Oh, it was electric.
Yeah.
It was electric.
And they were basically just chirping at each other. And
yeah, it was
I
beautiful.
didn't realize it was coming up this week, so I got real excited because that's he has become my number one favorite fighter.
It's
going
to be sick. And, that fight is going to be great. I rewatched the Izzy and Vettori first fight. Izzy won that fight. No question, no doubt. He didn't fight like the style bender that he is now, but he did style bend his ass.
Yeah.
Like he got Vettori. Vettori got one takedown in the late rounds, and I mean, Izzy clearly won 2-1, even if you're gonna give Vettori the third round. So Vittori's not doing shit against Adesanya. I can promise you that. Not at 185. Don't hold your breath because Adesanya didn't get the belt at 205. He stood blow for blow with legendary Polish power.
Right.
And I'm telling you, for him to even do that, it speaks volumes. So I think he's going to come back to 185 and just be electrically charged and a whole new level of Super Saiyan for Israel Adesanya. It seems like he reaches a new level with every fight. It's almost not even like it's maturity. It's like a new mental level that he unlocks as he gets to every fight. It's insane.
Yeah, the more you see something, the more you have answers for stuff like that.
I mean, he's just the way he develops. I watched the countdown this weekend. As they already put it out. And I mean, it was just absolutely great. So I suggest you watch that if you haven't had the opportunity. But one thing that really pisses me off, man, is that all of this fanfare going on about Adesanya and Vettori, number 2 for the strap, here we go, is really overshadowing what I think is going to be the best fight of the night for the flyweight strap, Davidson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
That was fight of the year for the first one.
Right.
And Brandon Moreno was on a month's notice, maybe, or 2 weeks' notice. Something completely offhand. Now he gets a full training camp. These boys, if you didn't watch that first fight, I suggest you go and find a way how to.
Yeah, no question, man. I mean, these is that bantamweight? Flyweight, okay.
Yeah, the little boys.
Right. Yeah, the flyweights, man. Figueiredo is electric. This fight should be electric, just for whatever reason. And I mean, you maybe be able to speak to this more. Those flyweights just don't have the marketability for some reason that these, Adesanya and the heavier weights do. But I mean, those fights are electric, man.
Oh, they are absolutely. Okay, let me put it to you in layman's terms. Number one, you don't see the knockouts and the high flying boom. Oh,
Right,
Joe
right,
Rogan
right,
losing
right.
his mind over there. You see the more technical style of fights. Now, you will see a good submission from time to time or a good TKO.
Yeah, you might see a knockout
But,
here and there. But
it's all about what pays the bills.
Right.
What do people want to see? And are you trying to watch two 125-pound, 35-year-old men scrap? Or are you trying to watch two 260-plus pound men throw bombs at each other?
Yeah.
It's just marketability. That's exactly what it is. I mean, you said it to a T. It's what it is. I mean, guys just aren't trying to. So it kind of sucks because, I mean,
it's part of the reason why
they're
Triple
great.
C
Davidson,
left. It's part of the reason why Triple C left, because he wasn't getting the same money that the big boys were.
Yeah, and they're not going to go up and fight 145 because some of the guys that fight, I mean, shit. Sugar Sean O'Malley is a bantamweight. He fights at 135 and he's 10 feet taller than Triple C's. I mean, he saw the future. He saw what's coming, and a lot of these guys are finding smarter ways. Finding smarter ways to cut weight and stuff like that. So huge fights coming up, and then if all of that doesn't overshadow the next fight even more, Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz coming back to the fucking cage, boys.
Man.
Stockton, word up, baby. Let's go. I am so excited to see him back. I am behind him 150%. There's no reason that Nate Diaz needs to fight no-name guys with how long he has been fighting. I mean, he is up there with the Cowboy Cerrones, the RDAs, the big names of the UFC promotion, what put UFC on the map, and there is no reason he should be fighting anybody outside of the top 5, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so,
he can come back whenever he wants.
Yes, and to fight Leon Edwards after Leon Edwards had that brutal doctor stoppage against Bilal Muhammad with that eye poke.
Right. Right.
That was a terrible way for Leon to make his first official return to the octagon after a very long layoff. So I'm interested to see what happens here.
It's going to be a dog fight.
Top 3 fights should be a hell of a night. The main card should be a hell of a night. Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill on the 4th fight. Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell on the 5th. I mean, turn me up on this. You got Darren Stewart, Eric Anders. That's going to be a scrap and a half. Just quickly looking through Hakeem Dawodu versus Mazvar Evelev. That's going to be ridiculous. And then let's see, Chase Hooper fighting Steven Peterson. That should be really good. And then Carlos Felipe and fighting Jake Collier at heavyweight to kick off the card. So boys and girls, strap in for UFC Adesanya versus Vettori 2 this upcoming weekend.
I'm excited for Friday's episode already to give some takes, opinions, picks.
I can't wait, dude.
All the like.
I cannot wait. We will definitely get into that. So make sure you stick around for Friday's Rants and Reactions. We'll give you UFC picks, fights to watch, main card parlay, all of the above. So we'll talk about that on Friday. Moving right along, only just a few more minutes of the TTL pod. Nothing else major here to cover for you before we get into the motivation minutes. However,
nothing major.
Something real big and major. I gotta say, hold on a minute. Julio Jones is no longer an Atlanta Falcon and is now a Tennessee Titan. He joins A.J. Brown and Ryan Tannehill and Derek the King Henry.
Tractorcito.
Oh, baby. How are we feeling about this Julio trade, Max?
Goodness gracious, man. I mean, what stands out to me is the buying price that it took.
A fifth and a second?
To believe
a fifth and a second?
A handful of teams could have matched that. You obviously have lot of money to move around.
I'm surprised you're not through the roof on that shit.
If in our case, the money, in my opinion, was the biggest hurdle there because we would have had to dump a big time contract.
That is true.
Probably on for our defense, which not that I wouldn't have
Kevin
been
King.
Opposed to that. Well, that's not that big of a contract. It wouldn't have been enough. Yeah, if that would have done it, then yes. If that would have done it, then yeah.
Do I know this guy or do I know this guy?
Not enough money himself, but all in all, man, I mean, it obviously makes them better. I think people are overreacting just a tiny bit on how good it makes them. Obviously, it makes them better.
It makes them killer.
Yeah, it makes that offense dangerous. The skill positions, an offense that's already been really solid the last couple of years. But I mean, that doesn't fix the couple of bigger holes that they have, whether it's their defense, their offensive line this upcoming year. Do I think they're going to be a playoff team? Absolutely.
Yes.
Will they have a very good chance of winning the division? Absolutely.
Yes.
The Indiana Colts ain't going anywhere though,
okay,
and they
so
made some big moves.
So yeah, there's where my hat kind of lies. I think that the only teams that are going to give them any type of a run for their money in the AFC South are going to be the Indianapolis Colts if they can get pressure on Tannehill. Mm-hmm. They did beef up that D line and they did beef up some of the secondary for the Colts. Mm-hmm. They did a great job.
Chris Carson Wentz.
Chris Ballard did a hell of a job drafted on that team. They got Carson Wentz now too. They got a star-studded backfield. So I think they can keep up, but I think that offense now is just too doggone electric. The Jaguars, theoretically, are we being honest?
Not yet.
Not even
Not
close.
No.
Trevor Lawrence will be good, but he's not going to be playoff material yet. He's going to have to get a 2-3 years under the belt.
Sure, but even if they end up being better than the Colts, take them down the division, in the grand scheme of the AFC as a whole, does this put them over the Colts? I don't think so. Does this put them over the Ravens even? I still don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I suppose I could agree with that, but...
Did I say the Chiefs first or the Colts?
The Colts.
Oh, I meant, does this put them over the Chiefs? No.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. One thing I would add, though, is just kind of had this thought, might be my 0-16 pick for this season, the Houston Texans.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be abysmal.
They're going to be abysmal. They might be my 0-16.
Yeah.
We were only naming 3 out of the South.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, because they are going to be
0-17.
17-game season, kids. Don't forget, less than 100 days, almost less than 90 days now, I do believe.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But I'm right there with you as long as Deshaun Watson doesn't play for them, obviously.
I think he's out.
I think he's out
Where the fuck does he go, dude?
Assuming all is well with his legal stuff, we're not going to touch on that. But because obviously, worst case scenario, he doesn't play because of that. But assuming he's okay with all of that and he can play, he already expressed before all of this happened that he has no interest in playing for the Houston Texans, and I don't think that's changed. If anything, he might even be okay sitting out a year after this entire.
All this fiasco that took
everything
place,
that's going on with
as
him.
if it's not enough to have to deal with trying to get traded and all the background and paperwork and front offices and yada, yada, yada. And then you throw in all the legality shit he's going through now.
Yeah.
It's just like, goodness gracious. So, yeah, I mean, I could see him sitting out a year. I could see him potentially... Oh, geez. I can't even put a thumb on where the fuck he would go.
Right.
I have no clue in my mind. I think it would be a bombshell situation like Julio to the Titans. I don't think really anybody saw that coming. I mean, A.J. Brown was chirping the shit out of him all over social media, but who knows if that was a key contributing factor to it. He'd like to tell himself that
I think
it
there's
is.
just so many layers to this before we can even have this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly.
So we will definitely continue that conversation at a later date, but yeah, I think there's just... too much behind the old QB right now. We'll see what the hell happens. But as far as that goes, NFL news, that's the big news over the weekend. Yep. Nothing else major coming out as of yet. So there we have it. Moving right along, put out a tweet yesterday that got some serious response.
Traction, response,
all the above. And I think we needed to talk about it just for a brief moment here. Yeah. Question, Mr. Magnuson. Robot umpires in the MLB 2022. What the fuck is going on out there?
Yeah, can we get them sooner here in 2021, for goodness sakes, man? I mean, it is brutal.
I don't understand it. I mean, I put out 3 tweets yesterday that were contenders for the worst strike calls of the entire year. 3 in one day. And I know most of you probably saw the one of the Red Sox and the Yankees. If you didn't see it from me, you saw it live on TV, you saw it somewhere else. I mean, egregious. Now, granted, it puts them into extra innings, gives them the 10th. Cool, whatever. Maybe that's in the umpire's head. Who the hell knows? But that was insane.
Right.
Like, that's not even a swing.
It wasn't just It wasn't just some second inning call. Nobody on the bases. No. It was 9th inning, game on the line. Guys on first and third, I believe.
Yeah.
With 2 outs.
That's not a swingable ball.
Yeah. It's that one's the worst one.
As a hitter, you're not standing in the box there thinking about fighting that pitch off at all. I mean, that's 2 feet. That's in the opposite box. Yeah. It's in the opposite box. You just can't be calling that. I mean, and a lot of these catchers have just, their framing game is so obvious on TV, and I just don't know if the umpires aren't seeing it or they're not paying attention, because some of these that we're talking about here,
right?
And it's just like, boys, how are we not? It goes in here, and we're catching it over here. What are we missing here? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, and obviously now that we have the broadcast technology, the fans are going to be more and more pissed off about it. But if we have that technology, that means we can pretty simply get some even more state of the art equipment for the damn Major League Baseball league. Major League Baseball, not Major League Baseball League, but anyways, not the point. You know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it got you so doggone flustered. You added an extra league to the MLB. But I mean, it's not something I'm trying to see. My Cubbies had some pretty rough calls. I'm not saying that's why we got destroyed by the Giants by any means, but we had a couple of calls that really could have turned the game one way or the other.
Yeah, and that Yankees one last night is got to be and it's not just because it was prime time on ESPN against the Red Sox, and even without the situation, that was brutal. But then you did throw in the circumstances, and it's tenfold.
Insane. So please, MLB, if you can hear us, we are putting in our vote and have sent in our signatures. Robot umpires 2021, or if your happy asses can get behind it for 2022, you can't get around it to this fast for this year. Please, just implement it. We're tired of seeing this nonsense.
Rob Manfred.
Rob Manfred, you son of a gun. Stop getting drunk at the World Series and start doing some stuff that's good for baseball. You want to make the game good? Make some changes. Needs to be done. Easy change. We can all see K's and B's with our own 2 eyes. We don't need another man behind the doggone plate telling telling us what he thinks they are.
You think
Because
it would-
opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got them and they stink.
You think it would get to a point where it's like a clear and obvious, like with robot umps, ball or strike call, and a hitter's still going to be like, what the hell?
Were you arguing?
Yeah.
Like talking to the camera or
Right.
something like that. That would be absolutely insane. Pitcher or a batter
It would
just
happen at
starts
least
beating the
once.
camera
It
or
would happen
something.
at
Oh,
least
yeah,
once.
absolutely. I just see one of the big pissed off Colombian guys just taking a bat to the camera. Oh, that would be electric. All right, moving along. NBA, my friend. Last two things to cover here. NBA, NHL news. NBA, nothing crazy, nothing hot. Actually, a little bit. Clips destroyed the Mavericks last night in the second half to advance on to the second round.
Yeah, they'll be playing tomorrow night against the Jazz.
Yeah.
This one was going on while I was at the park. I barely caught the end of it.
It was wild, man.
And it was already
wild.
in hand. Luka needs some damn help. Porzingis just is not the answer for him.
Well, I tweeted it out. Luka had 29 at half, and the
They were
only
down
other
by 7, I think.
yeah, and the only other Maverick player in double digits was KP with 12.
Right.
Everybody else had 7 or less, and it wasn't like 7, 7, 6, 7. It was 2, 3,
Right.
4, 2. Like it was brutal, and they're never
Right.
going to win. They're never going to
that's
get
a
past
solid,
the first
Yeah,
round.
that's a solid organization, so they should have the tools in place to be able to figure it out for them. But
Come on, Cubes.
yeah.
You got all the money in the world. Get that doggone lineup fixed, man. This is back-to-back 2 years. You got bounced out of there like the basketball you dribble for the game. I mean, crying out loud. It's ridiculous. We're trying to see Luka later on. We needed some Luka magic. Thought it was going to come around when he hit that step-back tray, though. You might not have seen it.
I missed it.
It was nasty. Under 2 minutes, and they were down by only 10, and he went to drive, hit a step-back tray, put him down by 7. I had him at plus 6.5. I thought, oh, shit, they're going to bring it back, going to tie it up. We might have overtime, or the Clips are going to win it on the last-second shot. I had the Clips winning, but I had the Mavericks plus 6.5, so absolutely brutal. They closed it so close, and then it was just a couple key rebounds and a couple a really key three, just like basketball is.
I did see that, yeah.
That's how basketball is, and that's what pushed the victory, because it was a very tight spread the entire game.
Yeah.
It was not that big.
And then some goofiness at the end there. Luka basically said no thanks to Paul George on the jersey
Yeah, it
swap.
was a little weird. I'm wondering what he said or what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need your cooties.
It didn't seem, I don't know, it didn't seem
It
like
didn't seem
it wasn't like a fuck
egregious
you.
or- yeah.
I imagine it's just like, no, dude, we just lost Game 7 to you. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have
no
Paul
thanks.
George's jersey up that I lost Game 7 for the rest
I'm
of
all
my
good,
life.
dude. Thanks.
Like, I don't need it.
We just
Appreciate
lost.
it.
I wanted to beat you.
Appreciate it.
I hope it's out of competitiveness and not just something random and totally goofy.
Yeah.
Because,
Same.
I mean, we need some more of that back in the NBA.
Same. Mentioned it at the top of the show. Was super high on the Atlanta Hawks yesterday. Dropped a stack on their money line.
Yeah, we both
and
did.
Money line cashed real nice and easy versus 76ers. Will I be doing that for game 2? Not too certain. Probably playing the spread.
I was gonna say it's
just
spread, maybe.
because of how fucking good the Hawks look right now. That $50,000 or $100,000 better is starting to look smarter and smarter by the day, my friend. I'm starting to become a believer.
As far as their title chances, I'm still tampering that.
Hey.
Even odds now to win this series against the Hawks, minus 110 both ways here.
Against 76ers, but I get
what
what
did
you're
I
saying.
say?
You said against the Hawks. Hawks against the
Hawks
Hawks.
against
But
the
that's all right.
Sixers.
I get what you
Anyways.
were saying. I'm pretty sure they got what you were saying, but just wanted to save you. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting series, my friend.
I'm leaning towards the Hawks these days.
I am too.
Man. I'm leaning towards the Hawks. It seems like the general population of the country still believes that the Sixers are the far and away better team, given these spreads. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's at least another 4.5 spread for the Sixers in game
I'm pretty
2
sure.
at least.
I'm pretty
So,
sure. Important.
Not getting enough love here are the Hawks, in my opinion.
Not at all. And the NBA playoff train keeps steaming right down the tracks tonight. We got one play for you with the Nuggets plus 4.5 on the Monday Madness Parlay. You got Nuggets and Suns, and then my partner's got the Nets minus
Next
1.5,
Bucks.
and then you got Bucks Nets. So 2 explosive games should be on tap tonight. So maybe that's why. Maybe the slate is so light because the action tonight is going to be so insane that our brains, our puny human brains, wouldn't be able to handle all the
extra MLB
insanity
action,
that
yeah.
we're about to see here tonight.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Hope so.
Also, NHL on tap this evening. We have 2 NHL games. Obviously, talked about the Bruins and the Islanders, and we already talked about our pick 2 for the Jets and the Habs. Real real solid games tonight as well. Should be some heated action there also. And then from this weekend, my man, we had a good weekend of hockey as well.
Yeah.
The Vegas Golden Knights last night even up this series, make it 2-2 on their home ice, going back to Colorado now for Game 5.
I think home advantage just might be the difference here. So
At least in the U.S., I would say so.
For this matchup specifically.
And this matchup too, yeah.
That's what I meant. Just this
so.
matchup specifically is what I meant. The home advantage makes the difference because.
So then you play 5 in Colorado, 6 in Vegas, and then 7 back in Colorado. So
I'm taking Colorado.
Taking Colorado too.
I'm taking Colorado still.
Yeah.
But Golden Knights got it back in a little bit pretty impressive.
Dominant
here, so.
fashion. I sprinkled a little bit. I took Colorado on a half unit, and then I sprinkled a little bit on the game to go to OT. And then when it started the third period 3-1, I was like, feeling pretty good about that bet now. And then 5-1.
5-1.
Let it go. It was pretty rough. But, I mean, I've been kind of looking into some additional props and stuff like that because I want to get in on some more NHL action. So I've been trying to look at some trends. I've been doing a little extra research on the side on some of those things. Maybe bring you guys some extra stuff, or at the very least, put them on my action app, which you can follow me nice and easily at cash_with_Colt. I'll be sure to put them on there too, or anything else I decide to do. So should have a loaded night of NHL, NBA, and MLB action. You heard it here first. I believe that the light slate is on tap tonight because we are in for 7 games of pure insanity across the diamonds, hardwood, and ice.
I'll take that action.
You heard it here first.
I wanna eat some popcorn for this stuff.
Absolutely. So covered about every sport, everything from the weekend. Nothing major yet to get into to start the week for this upcoming week, but we obviously will continue to roll stuff out as the week rolls along. Got some other big stuff we're working on in the background. We're up to something, so make sure you stay locked in, stay tuned in. Small improvements, gradual steps up the rung every single day here for the TTL Sports Media crew. So we're behind the scenes background grinding. You might only see us here for just a little bit, about an hour and a half every single day, but we are rocking and rolling on additional stuff every other minute that you don't see us. So stay tuned. It's only going to keep getting bigger and better here at TTL Sports Media. Got some big stuff I can't wait to roll out to you guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, there you have it. Today's rants and reactions. I think I've ranted enough and reacted enough. How about you, partner?
Yeah, I'm spent.
All right, sounds good to me. I might as well wrap this bad boy up. What do you say with some Colts motivation minutes? All right, here we go. Wanted to give you just a quick, heavy-hitting message for today's motivation minutes. This is a quote, and just wanted to give you a little bit of additional perspective behind it and send you on about your Monday. So the quote for today is, ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. One more time. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Now, I know this is pretty self-explanatory. You could probably already spinning on thoughts and things that you could potentially maybe cut some things out or change some things you've already been doing. So I won't spin down that rabbit hole, but rather kind of stick on that, cut some things out phrase there. And it's okay to do that. If there's a certain situation that you're finding yourself in day to day that's not advancing you towards your goals, dreams, and passions, cut that damn thing out. If there's a relationship that's holding you back from reaching the next level or attaining the next rung on the ladder in your life, cut that damn thing out. It doesn't matter if, and it might hurt to say this, and you might not want to hear this, but it doesn't matter if it's friends, if it's family, if it's an acquaintance, if it's a boss, if it's a coworker, if it's another human being. It doesn't matter. If they are not lifting you up, bringing value to your life, adding additional opportunities to your life today to make a better tomorrow, there's no reason for them to be in your life. You can cut them out. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's not fun. Speaking from experience, a lot of the times it fucking sucks. But it's something necessary in life to reach new levels. And I've said it before, but Leonardo DiCaprio once said that each new level of our lives requires a different version of ourselves. And if you want to reach those new levels, there's going to be some things you're going to have to cut out. I can promise you that. And the only person that can cut those things out is you. You are the only person that can look at yourself in the mirror and not talking to somebody, not giving somebody some drama or gossip. You can't bullshit yourself. You can't look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself something that is not the truth. So now is the time to reassess where you're at. Find your center. Look yourself in the mirror and honestly answer yourself if what you are doing today is setting yourself up for success for tomorrow and for your future. Are you wasting your time or are you using it wisely? Are you investing in yourself or are you blowing money at other people's expense? Little things to think about, small choices to make. If you want to have a better tomorrow, sometimes temporary pain is necessary in order for permanent fulfillment later. So today, my friends, I'm going to stop gabbing at you. I'm going to leave you with that inspiration, and I want you to remember and ask yourself this question. Is what I am doing today setting me up for a better and brighter tomorrow? That does it for Colts Motivation Minutes today.
It's good stuff, dude.
How you feeling about that?
That's good, man. I mean, yeah, I can't really add too much as far as what to say, but I know a lot of people struggle with the larger scale of things like personal relationships that you're mentioning. And I know we've both done it in the past, but yeah, I mean, for me at this point, where I'm currently at these days, it's a lot more. I work on a daily basis of cutting out those small little distractions throughout my day, whether we're working here or working at what I'm doing at home, that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can ever run away from this. It's always going to be, even at the very least, even if you're crushing things, you're probably still going to have those small little distractions that you got to try and cut out on a daily basis. So
I'm glad you kind of went there with that, because I had one more quote I wanted to drop down, and it is perfectly in line with what you just said.
Okay.
Big things happen when the small things are mastered. Coach John Wooden.
There you go.
So focus on those small things. If maybe you're in Riley's position, maybe it's not something huge, something big. Maybe it's not a relationship or situation. Maybe it's just little things. Maybe it's improving your overall health. Maybe it's improving your financial situation. Maybe it's learning to budget. Maybe it's something little like that. Maybe it's cutting out going to the club and getting VIP service when you only make $20 an hour, dog. You're on $50K salary. You ain't shit. Let me tell you that right now. You ain't shit. I can promise you that. Your net worth is not even close to anything to where you can say that you have money if you're on a $50K salary. I can promise you that right now. So maybe it's time to cut a few of those things out. Maybe have a little bit of temporary discomfort now for permanent comfort later.
Yeah, that was the other part that part is very, very, very
That's
true.
how I live my life, man. There's a lot of things that I skip out on, and if you know me, if you're watching this and you know me, you know there's a lot of things that I skip out on as far as going out and doing this, or a group of people's going here, and I don't do it because I don't like to do it. It's because I'm trying to set myself up for a better future, and it starts with small little decisions like that. So if you ever wonder why you don't see me out and about, maybe now you know. So I'm in the lab grinding while you're out there taking shots. So who's winning here? Don't know, but that does it for today's Colts Motivation Minutes. Appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, sticking around for all of that. So, partner, I had it in my head. I'm gonna try and keep this show right at about an hour and a half today. Gonna try and wind it right down right at 11:30. And would you look at that? We are right at 11:27 as I am saying this. So we got about 3 minutes here. So it only seems right that I close this bad boy out in the way you're looking over there and some of the vibes I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like it's gonna be a good ending here, folks. So you better tune in, turn up the volume, get ready. Partner, as always, anything burning on the brain, melting on the soul, festering in the heart that you need to get out to the kind folks that joined us on today's episode number 53 on this beautiful June 7th, 2021.
Nothing crazy.
Hell.
Could have been in the Rants Reactions, but I
Hey, you're working on your New York accent.
but I decided to sound a little more Philly if I do say myself.
Hey, either way, the New England
decided to save it. Little bit of shenanigans, you might say. Golf tournament. Bryson, maybe not what you're thinking. There was some bad things that happened that we didn't even touch on.
Man.
The goofiness, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka drama kind of picked up a little bit. Of course, Brooks Koepka was not at this tournament, but apparently many times throughout the first couple of rounds, instead of cheering Bryson on, when Bryson would hit a shot, people would say, "Let's go Brooksy," because a lot of people are big fans of the man Brooks Koepka, and they know about this drama. And apparently, Bryson DeChambeau had these people escorted out of the venue, out of the golf course, and that's pretty damn soft, if you do ask me.
Did you see what Brooks did in response?
And that's where I'm going with that. And he basically told them thanks for the support. He didn't tell them to stop. He said thanks for the support. He had a giant smile on his face, and then he offered them. I don't remember exactly what he offered, but Michelob Ultra is a huge sponsor, if not his biggest sponsor. And
a couple cases a piece.
Yeah, he offered them some Mickey Ultra
it's
in compensation.
Brooksy. It's just how he started it. It was like, oh, this shit eater.
It's not. I was listening to something else. It's like if it was really, and it's not even like bullying or anything like that. Like if they were saying shitty things about the dude, that might be a different thing, or heckling him while he's trying to shoot. But it's just good fun, man.
Kind of soft by Bryson, man.
Very soft by Bryson. Just go about your day and laugh it off, dude.
Bryson's kind of
the more you do, more you do this, the more it just fuels those people's fire, without question. Just lean into it, dude. Just lean into it, and things will be a lot better. People will probably like you more for it. So.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Brooks and Bryson still beefing at the time of episode 53 per Riley RMags Magnuson. There you have it. Thank you for your final sidebar, partner. Of course. I appreciate it as per usual. As to all of you watching live on YouTube, or maybe the recorded version, or maybe the recorded audio version on your favorite podcast directory, first things first, thank you so much. Take off the glasses one more time so you can see me loud and clear here. Jeez, holy cow, everything's bright again. See me loud and clear again. Just making you guys laugh here today. I know I say it all the time, but kicking off the third official week being live on YouTube, getting into well past a half a year, if not more now, of Talking the Line Sports Media, me and my partner doing this here every single day. Without your guys' support, without your following, without each and every single one of you, we wouldn't have the drive we do to get up and bring you these episodes, and also just share some of ourselves with you. I mean, this is our passion. We absolutely love it, and this is all because of you guys. So as always, thank you so much, and we just hope you keep coming back. We're going to keep dropping some damn good content. We won't stop. We're not going anywhere. We're only going to keep improving. So keep on coming around. We'll keep bankrupting these books one play at a time, ranting, reacting, and everything in between. Oh, and a little motivation as a little side shot. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers far and wide, from myself and RMags, we hope you have a spectacular rest of your Monday. Unless you have other plans, let's cash some tickets.